Welcome back to Water Player Concussion Sub-Series. Finally, World Cup seems to have come alive. Afghanistan has registered a historic victory in their cricketing lives. I think this is probably the game of the tournament so far. They've just beaten defending champions England in a 50-over game. Wow. So nobody expected it. I thought England will chase down no matter what they set up because the kind of pitch it is. But let's talk about it. First, let's get reactions from England. Sanjay, how do you feel? And how is मौसम कैसा है उधर?
Awesome. It's got bitterly cold now. It's 5-6 degrees in London, but I think the way Afghanistan played, it's great for the tournament. Again, another one-sided game. It was a convincing victory, but England would be super disappointed because for 8 days of the tournament, it did look like seven-team tournament where Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Netherlands were going to be beaten by pretty much all the other seven teams. But now this loss means that England can barely afford another slip up. You would need at least 6 wins out of nine. So I think their path will be really tough. But for Afghanistan, as you mentioned, this is historic for them. They've only had one victory in the past. I think was it Scotland or Ireland in 2015. So that's what it is basically. Afghanistan. Everyone thinks that T20 is probably their better suit in limited format, but beating England in a 50-over game. And even I thought that England should easily chase, considering what India did in the same ground, chasing around similar score. But full credit to Afghanistan, and England will have to pull up their socks.
And Shivam, let's get your reaction. I think you were always the believer after Afghanistan first batted first that they have the chance. So how do you feel first, and what do you make out of this victory of Afghanistan?
No, I think it's great for the tournament. I mean, as Dubeji rightly said, right? Enough of one-sided games. I mean, I think the Sri Lanka Pakistan match and this one, although in the end Afghanistan won quite convincingly, but you need matches like these, right? And this is no small feat. I mean, they have beaten one of the favorites for the World Cup, going into the tournament and defending champions. um, great victory. And I think the template sort of repeated for Afghanistan. They started really well, just like against India, lost their way in between. But the only difference was this time their tail wagged. And this shows the importance of those, your Shardul Thakur type batsmen. Why we sort of prefer Shardul Thakur, right, for India matches. Similarly here, that 28 by 23, 25 by Mujeeb, 20, 25 by Rashid Khan. That was the difference, right? If this would have been a 240, 250 score, I think England would have, chased that down with their Vokes and Topleys. But that 280 was the difference. I think great bowling performance by Afghanistan. And I was looking at the second innings. I followed it. Since the beginning, I think, if somebody has seen today's match, since the beginning, England sort of looked uncomfortable in that chase. They were never in control. Fazal Farooqi started off really well, close LBW appeals, and Afghanistan was absolutely on the ball. No freebies here and there, and it was just one Harry Brook who was sort of holding the innings together. But apart from him, Afghan spinners were just absolutely very difficult to sort of get away.
It was a perfect spin trio. Nabi, Mujeeb, and Rashid. And Syed has a question. Shivam missed this match in the stadium. You are in Delhi, of course. So do you regret? Of course, you should regret. But what do you think?
Absolutely, I regret. But just one thing: this is not a road. The pitch has something for the bowlers. It's just that you need to sort of put the ball in the right areas. Yes, it is batting friendly. The boundaries are short, but this match clearly shows that the pitch has something for the bowlers.
And
And I
Sanjay,
think
what went
England's
wrong with Basball?
yeah, I think more than baseball to start with, just with the ball, England, I think they got their tactics wrong. They didn't play Moeen Ali. They got Chris Wokes, between Chris Wokes and Sam Curran, 8 overs for 87 runs, no wicket, and all their other spinners including Joe Root, part-timers, 24 overs, 5 overs for 95. Imagine another off-spinner there. That would have probably helped. Sam Curran looked completely out of sorts. Afghanistan got their 100 in the 13th over. I thought they'll slip up and only get to 250. But as Shivam mentioned, good lower order hitting by pretty much everyone to push them to 280 and almost their highest scores in a World Cup. But for all the efforts of Afghani batters, I think everyone thought England's going to chase it easily. But they kept losing wickets. That ball from Naveenul Haq to Joss Butler, I think that's one of the balls of the tournament. I don't know, for some reason there was something pink on the ball. I kept looking at the replays, not sure what that is. But that's one of the best balls, similar to what Jasprit Bumrah did to Butler a few times, I think. So I don't know. I'm just casting my mind back whether the English team has their mind in the right place, because after the first loss, I was listening to Nasir Hussain and he referred to Johnny Bairstow's picture of when I think he went to Guwahati or whatever domestic flight, and people just standing up before, as happens in most of the domestic flights, before as soon as you get down, and the domestic flights do not have enough business class seats, etc. So Nasir Hussain was like, stop complaining. Yes, you got a difficult schedule. You'd be traveling 25,000 miles. But maybe, I don't know, whether they're sulking or our tour is bad. We haven't got enough army supporters. It's just so much cricket back to back after the Ashes. I don't know what it is, but this is a big blow to their chances of making the semis.
Yeah, indeed. And from bowling tactics too, I think Rashid open bowling for England, if I'm not wrong.
I don't think did he open?
No.
Did
Adil Rashid, right? No.
Yeah, Adil Rashid.
Mujeeb opened the bowling for Afghanistan.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It definitely is a big setback for England. I mean, they did not look like they were in the game, like Shivam mentioned. The first 10 overs, 87. I was thinking this is like a 300 game, and also the fact that Rashid Khan and Mujeeb put up that partnership in the end also shows that England did not get their tactics right. They probably complacent or not sure, but from start, I think Fazil Farooqi's start was fantastic, and it was unfortunate that Johnny Bairstow was given out. I thought the ball was going down the leg. It is the DRS or the umpire's decision. This World Cup has been a little iffy in the games which I have seen so far. But from chances of Afghanistan from here on, do they have wild card of making it to the semis at all?
To be honest, the way they are going, Australia is right at the bottom. So as long as they finish above Australia, which they've got a decent chance if they can roll over Bangladesh. Also, Bangladesh they lost, but they'll have to roll over at least two more teams and hope that Australia or England slip up. But I think anything is as positive from now on. As long as they're not finishing right at the bottom, I think they'll take it. But they need to just build on and believe that they can, beat the bigger teams. So I think it's just a great day for Afghani cricket, and something which probably will inspire generations to come.
Yeah, and especially
and someone, just two things on that. I mean, I hope Afghanistan is not thinking about all that. I think one of the journalists asked the same question to Rashid Khan, and he very clearly said, we are not thinking about semi-final, final. We are not India, Australia. We are never favorites. We just want to take one match at a time, play the best cricket that we can, and just give a fight. And if you have been following the recent Asia Cup as well, I think the match between Afghanistan and Pakistan also was very, very close. So just hanging in there, taking the matches as deep as possible, and then giving a best is I think should be enough for Afghanistan. They should not think beyond themselves of thinking of semi-finals, etc. Just play their best cricket, and importantly finish above Australia in the table. I think that is enough. But just one thing, I think I agree with Duveji. See, I think the hammering that England got from Rachin Ravindran, I think they have not come out of it. Right? Yes, they beat, I think, Bangladesh after that. But, all this hype about baseball, New Zealand से ही सीख के गया मकलम, उधर नहीं सीखा वो, right? तो अगर New Zealand baseball पे आ गया तो नहीं छोड़ेगा, and that's what happened in that match. I think the hammering that they got from Conway and Rachin, that was completely unexpected. Yes, England bounced back against Bangladesh, but I think they have not completely come over it. I hope they come out of it soon, because already two losses in the cup, and another loss here or there, then it'll be difficult for England.
Yeah, and just from a press conference or post-match conference, Afghanistan captain said that when they went back to the pavilion during the game break, 280, 290 was enough. So that means they had the belief that they could defend, which is fantastic to see. I think that's the kind of mindset they come in. And from Josh Butler's point of view, it was disappointing having won the toss and elected to bowl, missed the first ball down the leg to set the tone. Congratulations to Afghanistan, outplayed us today. I
I
mean,
think you missed one comment. I think Josh Butler also said that they the the Delhi Cricket Association did not play Sweet Caroline enough. That's why they actually lost.
that's amazing. It's amazing. Excellent. So let's look at the points table, which is little painstakingly difficult for Aussie fans. So let's see how it looks from. So India sitting right at the top. Afghanistan jumped 2 places and now are in sixth position. England have a lot of work to do there. Net run rate also has taken the hit. This pushed Pakistan up to number four. So the table's starting to look slightly interesting. If Sri Lanka and Bangladesh cop up a couple of wins, I think this table is really looking interesting. But do you feel India, New Zealand, South Africa still cut above the rest versus the other seven teams, Sanjay?
I I personally think that New Zealand might slip up, but this because if you look at their fixtures, they've got relatively easy fixtures at the top. So as the tournament progresses, probably they will slip up. Australia, I do expect them to bounce back. They've had the difficult start, so if they can string a couple of wins together, I think most of the teams wouldn't want to play them in the latter half of the tournament. But Australia and England, Australia more so, I think their chances are looking more and more bleak. If they have another pitch somewhere down the line where it's going to turn like Chennai or maybe a Lucknow pitch somewhere where it turns a lot, I think they'll also struggle. Same with England. Anywhere it's slow and low. Although this pitch didn't look like it was turning like the India Australia game, so I think Australia and England do look like they'll probably struggle. But maybe the top four, as it is now, will go through, and we'll have an India Pakistan semi-final.
Yeah, and England's life doesn't get any easier. Next, they are up against South Africa, who are who got momentum in their side. So Shivam, any further expectations of Australia or England coughing up, or do you feel that they have the class and skill for them to bounce back in this tournament?
Um, yeah, I think in the table, I think India is a short shot, a top four finish, uh, if not top of the table. I think they have all the bases covered. In the current top four, I think maybe South Africa will slip up. I think maybe South Africa will slip up in the games to come. They are heavily dependent on Quinton de Kock and Rassi. Although yes, Markram is also doing well, but I think they are heavily dependent on Quinton de Kock. The kind of start that they give that he gives, and I see New Zealand continue to be on the top half of the table, but you will surely see Australia coming back. Right. I think the Australia Pakistan match is going to be a terrific match. I think two hardcore fast bowling sides will clash, right? Harris Raw 150 plus, Mitchell Stark 145 plus. I think that is one match that we should watch out for. But yes, it's still early days. Probably when everybody has played 5 matches each, I think then it'll be probably more clear as to how the World Cup is shaping up.
Australia has to be very careful, Suman. They've got Sri Lanka tomorrow at Dharamsala. Not necessarily an easy. We've seen teams slip up with good starts at Dharamsala. If they lose that, I think they're pretty much done for the tournament, and that'll boost Pakistan's chances very much. They can catch Australia off guard on Friday when they play. But for England and South Africa, the big one obviously is in Mumbai next Saturday. England will love that pitch, so will South Africa. I think that probably be the game of the tournament so far. We've not had any last over finishes, but looking at the fixtures, I think those are the two or three games: Australia, Pakistan, England, South Africa. Um, Otherwise, I don't know whether we'll get an upset from Netherlands maybe somewhere down the line, which will be great for the tournament. But
And
we
just to add, tomorrow's match, Australia has a good chance to win and win handsomely. Yeah, I think there were reports coming in that Dashun Sanaka is out of the tournament
He's
with an
out.
injury.
He's
Yeah,
out.
so without him, Sri Lanka, without Hasaranga, they look even weaker. Yes, Mendes is in great form, but I'm not sure how he will adapt to the pitch in Dharamshala. Especially the outfields are pretty poor there. This Delhi pitch is very batting friendly, so they were going out with good starts. But I think Australia has a great chance to catch up on the net run rate as well tomorrow.
Sure.
Vishal just corrected me, Suman. It is in Lucknow, and I'm sure
Hmm.
they'll put up a spinning wicket like we've seen in the
Yeah,
IPL.
Lucknow.
If that happens, I think Australia might struggle against Sri Lanka. They're a decent side when it's turning.
Syed Hussein is always worried about Australia. I don't know why. But one other point which Vishak's pointing it out here, which I think Joy Bhattacharya also mentioned on Twitter, that Rohit's innings, both Afghanistan and Pakistan, his batting skills helped us get the victory, because I think he noticed that the second half of this tournament, especially if you're batting second, the ball's getting softer, the pitches are getting a little slower. So when the ball is new, you try to get as many runs as possible, which probably is also a differentiator for England today. England did not start well. They were trying to catch up, even though the runs needed were like about 59. I think that's what we saw the loss. If they would have had a decent enough start, like 40 for no loss or 50 for no loss, the result would have been completely different. So Ishak, you have a point. Yes, Rohit's contributions on both the games on the top of the batting list has been
And,
useful.
and also
And, and
and also what
yeah, yeah,
what
Dubey.
what Afghanistan didn't do well against India was they love bringing in Rashid when it's like 10, 12, 15 overs, and which was fine today because they had early wickets. But against
Hmm.
India, the damage was pretty much done. Rohit was
Absolutely.
flying by the time he came, so there's no way he was going to have any impact in the game. And you don't do that with your best bowlers. So I think that's a lesson for Afghanistan. If they have a sniff of a victory, you just get your best bowlers in right up front, so that at least they give them the best chance to put a result.
Absolutely. Excellent. So hopefully Afghanistan and their fans get some time to celebrate. This is a massive victory for them. Second ever only World Cup win after the Scotland victory. And hopefully Afghanistan gets the momentum, and England have a tough spill to follow. Tomorrow, I think Sanjay Dubey at work, we will have a lot of grumpy colleagues. Hopefully, get some coffee for them or whatever. I sure will
To be
have some
honest,
banter with my English colleagues.
what will make it really grumpy is there's a quarterfinal that's happening of the Rugby World Cup. So England's playing. If they lose that, then definitely it'll be really grumpy.
Good luck, England, at least for the rugby, but hard luck. But congratulations to Afghanistan and their fans. Really pleased for their victory, and hopefully they continue the momentum. Shivam, thanks for making time. Feroz Kotla, hopefully you get to see another game. Sanjay Dubey, hard luck again. 2 days in a row. Pakistan yesterday, England today. Hopefully you have some happy days coming up. For folks who have engaged, thank you so much. Syed, keep supporting Australia along with Anil Jain. Vishak, hopefully Ashwin gets a game for India. Thanks for watching and see you later, folks.
Thank you, guys. Bye.